2016. So just few days back we celebrated the 7th birthday anniversary of Reliance Jio. So it's not only Jio, the entry in India, it is not only a Jio and it is not only to do business. It was a technological revolution. Post Jio, there were a lot of layers which were built and helped the government to make more public goods as well as public infrastructure which is going to benefit each and every section of the society. The main objective of Jio was to give a data affordability which can be accessible to each and every section of the society based on their needs. That was the main motto of Jio. So post Jio, you all know the rate of data was the cheapest in India if I compare it with the world. Also, the usage of data in 2016, which was just half GB in the entire month, has been transformed to 1 GB per day as of now. If we take the average, so almost 100x improvement in terms of consumption. And also the logic behind 4G was when we initially launched, we had given free data usage for the entire 6 months. In telecommunication industry, if we give you a free voice, we are not going to spend 6 or 7 hours doing voice calling. But when we give you a free affordable data or free data, in that case you can use the data in multi-purpose purpose for your own benefits. So that was the logic behind giving the free data. So the entire digital revolution started from there itself. So we were having the target in 2016 to get 100 million subscribers in just 6 months. 100 million subscribers in 6 months. That was possible only because of digitization of the documents. Before Jio, most of the SIMs were purchased by using hard copy of the documents. But once Jio came, we started the digitization journey from there. All the documents got digitized from there. So that was the first step in digital revolution post Jio. The government of India is taking all the advantage from the network operators, whether it is Jio, Airtel or any other operators, to build the digital public goods, to build the digital India and digital revolution, digital infrastructure, whatever terminology you use. First, in 2016, we acquired 100 million subscribers in just 170 days. That was our major achievement. That happened only because of new digitization, the digitization of the documents. After that, government came with Jan Dhan Yojana. In Jan Dhan Yojana, government had given almost 700 million bank account to the Indian citizens. So from unbanked country, we became the most banked country, following the digital space, following the connectivity which telecommunication has provided to the government. So the journey started from there. After that, we started the payment system. So any of you can raise hand who is not using UPI as of yet. Any of you? None. Everybody is using UPI. This is called the new India. This is called digitization. Earlier we used to ask the question, how many of you are digitized? How many of you are using the net banking? But as of today, everybody is using digital payments. So we are moving from cash economy to cashless economy. That is another digital revolution. This was the first step. So government is doing lot of work, taking advantage of the connectivity which Jio and other operators are giving to India. So these are all part of digital revolution. Apart from that, government has also came with Diksha platform. I hope everybody is aware of that. Diksha platform was again a solution during the pandemic for all the public schools, government schools, who were not having the accessibility to expensive devices or go for online education. Diksha platform is having almost 600 million books and each book is QR coded. On an average, in a particular book, there are 20 QR codes. So, just visualize how digitization is taking place. It started from Jio in 2016. After that, Jan Dhan Yojana. After that, digitization of documents. After that, Diksha platform. Next, the DigiLocker. using the digital revolution. We are taking advantage from each and every step. So before moving to 5G, I would also like to place my apology to students. See, we have almost invested 9,500 crore in Assam on our 4G, and there is a pipeline of almost 2,500 crore where we are doing the investment. However, we are not certifying that we are there at each and every corners of Assam. There are certain glitches in some of the corners where the network accessibility is there is some problem. But we are trying to figure out those also. We are trying to reach at each and every corner, because building network layer on layer is not an easy task. It's a difficult task, because we have to take a lot of permission at the ground. Then only we can put up a tower. ROW, right of way permission from government. Assam is having a lot of unregistered land, so we need to take permission from government for that also. So there are certain glitches, but however we are present in almost every part of Assam as on date. Certain download, upload speeds differences are there, varying from place to place, but we are figuring it out and we are trying to close that also as soon as possible. That is why the entire geo dignitaries are present here, including the network team, the real estate team, as well as the entire marketing team is also present here. So that whenever we go for question and answer, if any questions which is related to network issues, obviously we will try to answer it in the coming days. So let us now move to 5G, Geo to 5G. Why we have given the tagline Geo to 5G, not just 5G? Because the architecture of 5G also differs. Geo to 5G means there is a standalone 5G. The architecture of 5G is in two categories. One is standalone 5G, the other is non-standalone 5G. So Geo is having the standalone 5G. Standalone 5G. If you are anybody, if you are a physics student, you are aware of the network architecture. Standalone 5G means we are just to put the electronics on our existing passive infrastructure. We do that through 5G is not having any relation with the 4G. That is why it is called standalone 5G. And in India, it is only Reliance Jio which is having the spectrum all over the country in 22 licensed service area at this bandwidth. That is why we have given that tagline called Stand Geo through 5G. And we will further see in other coming slides how this through 5G is beneficial for students as well as other sections of the society. And for the young. Obviously, technology is always by the young and for the young. So this is the vision of our chairman. So these are some of the phases. Most of see, as of today, there is abundance of information. So I am not going to show you anything new which is not known to you. But however, all those dots needs to be connected in one place, so that the information, abundance of information which we are having, that needs what to consume. The most relevant information needs to get consumed. So in 1980 we were working on analog. Analog was the device used at that point of time to store data. At that point of time, it was only voice. Most of you would be not be there. 2G, digital. After that, when the revolution of 2G came, the voice was further added with SMS and some bit of data. In the year 2000, the revolution of 3G came. The generation keeps on increasing and the technology keeps on advancing. 3G mobile data, smartphone, mobile internet. So in 2000, 3G, internet was well known to most of the sections of the society. After that, in 2010, became 4G. Mobile broadband, high-speed data. Then we started talking about mobile broadband, speed of the data, video streaming, everything. That was 4G. And in 2006, there was an entry of Jio with LTE technology. Long-term evolution technology as well as 4G technology. And that reshaped the entire digital revolution in India. 5G is further going to enhance all the features of 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. There are certain limitations in 4G, there were certain limitations in 3G, that is why 4G has to come. There were certain limitations in 2G, that is why 3G has to come. So, in a similar fashion, there are certain limitations with 4G, that is why 5G has to come. So, in 4G, certain limitation, the speed. 4G, the average maximum speed we can go up to 125 Mbps. But however, the potential of 5G is to go up to 20 Gbps. So there is almost 100x difference. If I compare 5G with 4G in terms of speed. Similarly, latency. Latency here means the real-time response. In 4G, the real-time response, there is a lag of almost 20 to 30 milliseconds. But however, when we talk about 5G, the response is almost real-time. 1 or 2 millisecond lag is there because 5G will be used for all the sections, whether it is education, whether it is hospitals, whether it is manufacturing sector, whether it is mining, whether it is agriculture. And if the speed is not there, the latency is 0, then only 5G will get successful. There are many devices which require real-time response. There are many events, there are many activities which require real-time response. And that is where the 5G is going to give justification in terms of speed. So that is also 5G. So we can measure the subscriber who are latch on 4G as also we can measure the subscriber who are latch on 5G. So there is no dependency of 5G on 4G. So if you are having a 5G device, you can latch on to 5G. Even the 5G is latch on is present in this particular auditorium. Is much more power efficient if I compare it with 4G and other networks. Again, physics students, you would be having the idea of the spectrum, the different layers of the spectrum. As of today, we are having the best mix of spectrum to provide the best speed in 5G as well as 4G. We are having 3500 megahertz mid-band frequency, which will provide network connectivity each and every nooks and corners of the society. 26 gigahertz millimeter wave. This again is a new technology. 26 gigahertz millimeter wave. This will penetrate to even the indoors of your house. This will have to penetrate even the indoors of your house, as well as it will also have the enterprise. It means as the network requirement will be customized based on the requirement of the industries. 700 megahertz low band frequency. Again, 700 megahertz low band frequency is a gold-plated network which is available only with Reliance Jio in the entire 22 licensed service area. This will further help to penetrate all the indoor coverage. Most of the time, you come with a complaint that in your room the network ability is not there. Once these band frequencies are completely there at the ground, those problems will get resolved. Some of the largest companies of the world is partnered with Reliance Jio to advise Reliance Jio on different technology platforms. Qualcomm, Intel, most of you are aware of how these large industries called Qualcomm, Intel. These are all American MNCs, multinational corporations. Meta is the holding company of Facebook, Instagram, Thread, as well as WhatsApp. Google, the most search engine company and the most technologically advanced company. So they are all partnered with Reliance Jio has partnered with all of them to take advice and enhance the technological development of India. And finally, Jio Platform. Jio Platform is a holding company of the biggest operator in India, which is called Jio. And Jio Platform is a subsidiary of Reliance Industries. So we have partnered with all the big companies so that we can give the best technology and bring the best technology in India. The world most advanced 5G network for incredible India. As of date, we are present in 6,258 cities and 36 states and union territories. For telecommunication industry, the 36 states and union territories are called 22 license service areas. That 22 license service area covers the entire 36 states and union territories. Investment in Assam from Reliance Jio Infocom Limited. As on date, we have already invested 9,500 crore and 2,500 crore investment are in work in progress. So this 2,500 crores means the 5G which we are deploying. We are investing to reach each and every corners of Assam with 5G. So there is already we have investment of 12,000 crore in Assam. As on date, 150 plus town covered and rapidly expanding. 150 plus town covered in Assam means almost 65 to 70% coverage of 5G is already ready in Assam. If we compare ourselves in terms of technology, 5G technology with some of the best countries of the world. In India, the 5G availability is there for 29.9%. It's almost 30% 5G availability is there as a country as a whole. However, in USA it is 31%. But try to understand the scale. USA is having only 23 crore population, we are having 140 crore population. So 140 crore of 30% of 140 crore. USA 31% of just 33 crores. So try to visualize, imagine the scale on which Indian government is. The private Indian telecommunication industry is working. Next is 5G tower distribution. Again, in India we are having 301 average Mbps. However, in USA it is only just 138 average Mbps. South Korea, which is most ahead, is having 432 Mbps. But again, in terms of scale, South Korea is getting advantage because of the population there is only 5 crores. Against, if you compare with India, 140 crores, more than 140 crores. So these are some benchmark compared to some of the best industries. How is the 5G sector transformed life in India? So we always say action speaks more than words. Let's see some of the visuals. 5G will again be helpful in gaming. Because of its high speed, low latencies. These audio visuals are just